Good morning, church, and welcome to the musing for the 30th of March. My Thursday evening Bible study group is working its way through the book of Genesis, and recently we discussed the story of Sodom and Gomorrah, particularly the scene in which the men of Sodom surround Lot's house, demanding that he send out his guests to be raped. Lot's response was to offer his daughters as a substitute. Now, at first reading, this seems rather reprehensible, but that's only because it is. Now, I understand that the status of a guest in your house was very nearly sacred at that time and in that place and in that culture. And I get that Lot was under terrific societal pressure to protect those whom he had taken in. But the pressure doesn't excuse the decision. Lot's choice tells us a couple of things. First, it seems clear that living in Sodom had eaten away at his character. He had made a choice to live in a place of evil, and the evil seems to have begun to live in him as well. The lesson for us is that it is dangerous for us to try to maintain our faith and our virtue while we exist in that kind of proximity to that level of moral rot. There's a danger. As the Apostle Paul reminded the church at Corinth, bad company ruins good morals. Just as a compass placed near a strong magnet will stop pointing to true north and swing around to the magnet, sometimes our moral compass can be overcome by the pull of sin when we get too close to it for too long. And the second point that comes into focus as we consider this passage is the contrast it makes with the decision Christ Jesus made. Both were faced with similar choices. Lot was presented with a city of evil and chose to sacrifice his daughters to save his guests. He chose to oppose evil by committing what he thought was a lesser evil. He compromised. That road never seems to lead anywhere good. Now, Jesus was presented with a world of evil and chose to sacrifice himself to save all of humanity. He denied that the choice was limited to which evil thing would win. He found a different road entirely, a road that led to salvation. In both cases, the cost was real. The choice was real. Lot kind of failed the test, and Christ kind of passed it. And the test is still out there, and one day it may be your turn to make a choice between what is right and what is expedient, to choose what you will sacrifice. When that day comes, do not trust in your own strength and your own judgment. Those are not sufficient. Instead, trust that through your unity with Christ, you have been given the strength to follow his judgment, to respond the way he responded, and to win the victory the way he won the victory. All too often, evil triumphs by convincing us that there's no alternative, that all the paths ahead are bad ones. That is a lie. There is always an alternative, and following Christ is always the right path. God bless us all.